It seems our calls for proof of life were heard, because yesterday, after evident reluctance and months of equivocation, Princess Catherine showed up in public. This time, for the first time in nearly 6 months, there could really be no doubt. I promised I'd crack a bottle of champagne if they gave us proof of life, and here we are. Don't come at me with your crazy clone theories. There's no way a 5-month-old, fully grown being could walk in those heels, let alone have the trust of her children. This had to be Kate. Which begs a series of bothersome questions. What were they thinking? Who signed off on Catherine going into seclusion for almost 6 months? And why was the no photo updates policy allowed when they know full well how damaging no news can be? How closely were they monitoring social media alarm, and how much did it affect the timing of her reappearance? Who, if anyone, masterminded this ham-fisted strategy for managing a serious illness in a key member of a depleted team of active royals? And why did no media pick up on the rupture of hallowed tradition and the blatant breach of 21st century communications expectations and question it? When it comes to the royal family, is the Fourth Estate completely subdued in Britain? I don't have the answers to any of these questions, only the temerity to raise them. But with trust in the monarchy running low and Charles's slimmed down outfit looking rather emaciated, unlike Catherine, who looked thin but otherwise radiant, they must have been expecting this long game to cause controversy. Maybe that was the intention. Maybe when it began they thought, yeah, let's run with this. All publicity is good publicity. They should know better. Because Catherine already had a reputation for being work-shy, doing fewer royal duties than other senior royals. Her role as a royal mother might justify that, despite the nanny and servants. But more importantly, this looks to me, observing through heavily mediated sources from the other side of the planet, like the second time Catherine has failed to understand the constitutional impact of her personal choices and actions. Kate was in a unique position to support Meghan's integration into the family, and regardless of how difficult that might have been, and it would have been, it was a massive cross-cultural challenge. Once accepted by Queen Elizabeth, it was essential from a constitutional point of view. This family's liaisons are iconic, emblematic, and diplomatic. Kate represented modern Britain. Meghan represented the Anglo-American alliance and, through her African roots, the Commonwealth. It was an astonishing challenge that Harry dropped on his family, and most of them tried their best to meet it. But when the media rolled it all in the gutter, the royals lost heart, and the Commonwealth is the weaker for it. This time, it seems, Her Highness has been testing the limits of royal accountability in the media age. Perhaps she did just seize on her illness as a chance to have a few months away from the constant broadcast scrutiny. But like I suggested in the very first video in this series, you would think a monthly update wouldn't be too taxing. It's not like she'd have to write or post it herself, just allow herself to be photographed. The number of people who commented on my posts with variants of "she dead" must have reached the thousands. People just could not imagine how a senior British royal could avoid public view for so long and still be alive. The few facts we had could, as I demonstrated, be put together in worrying ways. Hypotheses ranging from the banal to the fantastical popped up in foreign media, exploded around the internet, and still she did not appear. Until finally, Reed slim and a little frail, but exquisite as ever, vertical and verifiable. So it seems, though we still divide into those who say they wouldn't and those who say sure they would, at least this time we can say they didn't. But we're still left with a bunch of questions about the royal family's diminishing role in public life. Who's making unacknowledged changes to strict royal commitment and authentication protocols, and why? Who's keeping an eye on all that? And just how accountable are the Windsors for their extraordinary privilege?